That was about how to get to ideas. And of course, then I have some idea which directions we want to work. I'm not a writer, I'm not a medical person, but we work on molecules. So we try to design new chemical reactions, new molecules that are either new drugs or new materials or new catalysts for the industry. We work also a lot together with industry. During my whole career, I had programs together with industry like Shell, Nobel, and so on, these companies. So sometimes they come with questions and say, hey, can you do something in this area? That's one thing. Most of the ideas come because we discuss in the group, we read the literature. If you read literature, you know, like the recent literature, you think, oh, some people in Japan did this, but we have these molecules. Maybe we can do better, we can do different things. Often ideas come just because thinking about chemical problems in my case. So I often get also ideas on the bike indeed. I have to bike 15 kilometers to the lab, so that takes almost an hour. That gives you a bit of time to think. But many ideas come when you discuss with your students. So we have a lot of discussions with the students on the blackboard, discussing about new ideas, etc. And often what I do is I challenge the students, yes? And say, look, this could be done, but if you have a better idea, let me tell you the story of one of my Chinese PhD students. Small guy, you know, very smart boy. I had at the end of the day in the evening a discussion with him for half an hour, and I said, maybe with the next step we should do this and that. Yeah, but maybe you should go to the literature, read a little bit. The next morning, 8:15 in the morning, I just had stepped off my bike. He came to me, Professor Ben, I have a better idea. I went to the blackboard discussing with him for half an hour, and indeed, he had gone to with the original idea that we had the evening before. He had gone to the literature, and he studied very well. I think half of the night, he was looking, and then he came up with an even better idea, yeah? And that was marvelous, and it worked so beautifully, and we got a beautiful publication out of that. So, there's not one way, but try to be open-minded, be creative, and try to think, oh, I don't want to do exactly the same as somebody else. If the Americans do this, let me think, maybe we can do it a little bit different. Yeah? Thank you for the question. The other one, where was I when I got the phone call from Stockholm? That's very special. I was in my office discussing with two students, a PhD and a postdoc, about the project. I was sitting there, and they call you, the announcement is at 11:45 in the morning. They call you at 11:45, 1 hour before. And I was sitting there discussing with the students in my office about a problem that did not work, a failure. It didn't work, we were stuck. That was about these smart pharmaceuticals, you know, that we could switch on and off. And so we just had discussed 3 options. And I remember the telephone rang, and I said, maybe we should first try option 3 in the next weeks, and if in the coming month we cannot get any further, we should try something completely different. Then I took the telephone, Stockholm, Nobel Committee. I sent the student out. Then, after 4 minutes, 3 minutes, the secretary of the Nobel Committee, he started to explain to me, congratulations, whatever. And he said, Dr. Feringa, are you still there? It's so quiet. Because I was really in shock. I did not know what to say. And then, yes, I'm there, and I'm honored. And then he explained to me, and then he said to me after 10 minutes, okay, I will call the next one, but you have to stay on, we call you back in 15 minutes, because you have to think about what you are going to say to television. Because you will make the announcement, and you will be live, directly called in the television of the Swedish TV and the BBC and so on. So then you have to think, and you are not allowed to say anything. The only thing I did is I called my wife, and I said, better watch live stream in half an hour. And then they called me, you know, back, and they made the announcement. I was in the lab, in the office, at that day. And that was a lucky that I was there, because I was supposed to be in Germany. because to give lectures in Germany. But then my daughter got her bachelor degree of the university, a bachelor diploma, that afternoon. So she said to me, you are not going to Berlin or München to Germany, eh? Because you will be there when I get my bachelor diploma. Because you were not there when I made my first steps and I spoke my first words. Because you're always busy as a scientist. You know? So I promised her to be there. So, but of course, this ceremony was in the afternoon when I was on television and I had these interviews and so. So I never made it to the bachelor diploma of my. The only my wife said, you were dressed pretty good, yeah, because I had a jacket and a nice dress. And normally in the lab, you know, you don't dress up like that. And I said yes because I had to go to the ceremony of my daughter, but I never made it. But she forgive me. It was a good reason.
Okay.